I'm very pleased to be here today at the World-Class Corporate Climate Neutral Strategies and Energy Management. I have to read it every single time, but still very good to be here. And what I would like to talk to you today is about TE connectivity and our sustainability strategy, and actually how we are planning to take it to the next level. So, to me, myself, Anita Panov, Senior Sustainability Manager, located here in one of our headquarters, not far from here in Bensheim. Chances are that some of you, or very many of you, never heard about who is TE connectivity. As Forbes is stating a couple months ago, we are the biggest company you never heard about, but can't live without. So what do we do, and how big are we actually? It was one too much. We are about 15 billion company, sales revenue from the last year. We have over 140 sites worldwide, manufacturing and engineering facilities. We employ over 80,000 people, and already proudly working at least 60% all over the world with renewable energies. In Europe, we are over 80%. You can also see that in EMEA region, we have the most amount of sites, but other than that, we are relatively evenly spread throughout the world. Here in EMEA, that's actually our main point, also about the elevation that I'm going to talk today. We have the biggest amount of sites. We have also the biggest business unit, that's automotive. So we are here talking about automotive supply, and we're talking about our product portfolio that consists of terminals, connectors. We are a big supplier for e-mobility, data connectivity, and sensors. So basically, in the car, you have lots of our product in any given car, or bus or truck. At the moment, worldwide, at least 90 euros of content is from us. In a car that has a little bit more connectivity, with a board computer, maybe everything is electrical, we're up to 400 euros. Sounds still very small product, but it's very, very big impact. In this region and in this surrounding, we employ 14,000 people. We have over 1,000 engineers. That's also another fact about TE. Up to 20% of our revenue goes back into R&D. So we are very strongly investing into innovation. Our revenue is 2.5 billion just for the automotive sector. The map is not really clear to see here, but you would see that we are quite evenly spread also throughout Europe and European sub-regions, from north to south and from east to west. So generally, 11 manufacturing sites, so some mega sites, they're sometimes 2 or 3 campuses together, and 11 engineering centers of excellence. So we at TE already read our purpose to create a safer, sustainable, productive, and connected future. Again, connectivity is our business, but we want to have it in an efficient and sustainable manner, and of course safe, because the social topic is a very important one, internally or externally. We're already publishing since at least 10 years our CSR report, participate in Carbon Disclosure Project. We are listed on Dow Jones Sustainability Index. We have relatively good ESG ratings. And of course, the 17 SDGs are part of our structure. And I cannot tell yet too much, but we are working on preparing to submit for science-based targets. So we already have a strategy and lots going on. So that was for us still not enough. And why was it so? Why did we decide to actually take it to the next elevation level? It was basically by looking into our surrounding, looking again very hard at the legal, social, and scientific framework. We have here the European Green Deal, social movement, supply chain acts, science-based targets, very important one, already heard it today. We see market changes with very big changes in the end user behavior and direct customer behavior. And since we are not really end user driven, we are not selling into a Bauhaus, nobody buys our product directly. So you have to buy your car, you have to buy your truck. Somebody else will be doing the service. You will never get to know our name. So we're really watching very carefully our customer requirements. And they are also setting very ambitious climate targets. So with all the pressure, with all the things that are changing, we felt that we have to do a little bit more. And I already mentioned, we consider ourselves a technology leader. And as a technology leader, we felt that a lot of the problems that we see around sustainability topic can be solved through innovation and collaboration. So we sat down again and we reviewed what role do we want to play in all of those changing market conditions. And so as a technology leader, we want to be a pioneer of sustainability. We consider that sustainability also gives us a great wealth of opportunities to do our business model in a sustainable, connected, and circular economy ways. We want to do it with our partners. We cannot do a circular economy without our partners. We already heard here before about Scope 3. I'll get to that too. And the way we want to do that is to protect and preserve the planet. We want to use our talent, and it means our people's talent and our resources. And we want to get nothing less but the triple bottom. So all the three: environmental, economic, and social benefits. We also involved a third-party company to help us to evaluate and to create a very elaborated target system. It's on purpose that you cannot read it, it's too much. And it's still a target system. It is basically our path to net zero, so that's our plan, as complex as it is, and that's actually also what I want to represent with this sustainability wheel, is that when we started to look into this, the topic got rather more complex, not simpler. What was important for us to develop this strategy was to work really bottom up and top down. So it was a reiterative process when we were working with all of our functions, from quality to supply chain to production and engineering, so all, and even finances and HR. So everybody was sitting at the table one after another and sometimes together, and then it was going up and down between the top management and middle management, and also involving the employees. We have developed also a parallel system where we have, for example, sustainability leaders or champions, where we have so-called multipliers in each function, people who we train on sustainability topics that help us to now work on the target system. A target system like that is a very elaborate system, and you cannot do it all at the same time. It's just simply too much. It was 34 target system or subsystems. Instead, for the implementation, we are focusing on going through the life cycle stages. So basically, we use a little bit the LCA analysis as ground base for us for all of our decision making. And so you can see here our 5 pillars is the CO2 transparency. So all of our decisions should be now based on the carbon emissions transparency. So we want to calculate and understand, if we do a project, what will it bring it to us also on carbon emissions. Then we're also very focused on immediately tackling some of the big problems in net zero in supply chain program. That's, of course, the Scope 3 consideration. One moment. Oops. How do I get that? Yeah. Another very important part for us, of course, is sustainable product. We need to prepare for the carbon emission reduced product portfolio, or even carbon neutral carbon portfolio. Net zero operation, that's the energy management and also our production ways, and that all does not go without our employee enablement. People need to be educated to be able to carry out something as complicated and complex as sustainability strategies. One of the examples of our transparency for decision-making support, one time is the corporate view, and on the other side you see the product view. And the corporate view, it's representing our Scope 3 analysis, where you can very quickly also see something that is not untypical for a manufacturing company, quite far away from actually producing of raw materials. So the resins, metals, that's for us our core components. represent up to 80% of the share of the emissions that are not directly caused by us, but without tackling them, we're not going to be able to be climate neutral at some point. The other components are, of course, transportation, energy management, packaging, and some other elements. On the product view, that was a very interesting key learning. What you see here is one of our smallest connectors. It weighs 1.2 gram and is actually consisting only of metal. It is produced in a factory that is already completely switched to renewable energy, so we see only that 98% is raw material on the emission. The carbon footprint is, it's 0 point something. It's very, very small. It's the numbers again. We produce millions and millions of those little things, and there are millions and millions that are needed. So understanding those hotspots was really also, I would say, not just evolutionizing our engineering department, it was revolutionizing them when they saw it so clearly. It's resins, it's metals, it's raw materials. And if they don't change the design, a couple years later, I cannot do anything anymore with the energy management. It's done. We have to change completely the design. We have to do something that is much more meaningful and long-term. So again, we're talking here right now about a very highly complex program that has too much to tackle at the same time. So we're right now in the implementation phase. And again, moving along the life cycle stages, we are focusing on key projects. So one of the key projects is the low carbon fossil-based materials. It's very important initiatives where we basically, for all of the plastic, especially first we tackle plastic. That kind of like was a decision we made, because plastics do have a higher footprint than the metals, and plastics are notoriously much harder to recycle than metals. So what you see here is a little bit of, it doesn't need to be clarity, but basically here you're missing the little arrows showing what are the potentials we can do going up or down on the carbon footprint. So basically this helps the engineers to select the right material right from the beginning. And a lot of the items on it are still in the test phase. Then another very important thing is reuse and recyclability. Some of our new goals that we had to introduce with this new strategy and elevated strategy, as we call it, was the zero waste to landfill concept. We already have that actually, but we're already thinking about circular economy. So the idea is to really have the zero waste in the zero waste to landfill. And so we are analyzing all of our waste. We are not throwing anything, nothing goes to landfill. We already did it for many years, but how do we really reduce whatever is landing in that container? So we are analyzing right now a lot of the closed loops, outside loops, and extended loops, and it's a technology for itself. We have a very big project where about 20 people are working on that, and this is all very key specialists. And again, focus on plastics as the first one. Another one very new thing for us that we actually already knew how to do, but now we are supporting that with CO2. So that is value stream simulations. That is also very computer-based, and here we're trying to do a couple things. We're trying to really already change our manufacturing footprint to have the shortest ways as possible between us, our customers, and our suppliers. It's not always possible. We not always can tell our customers what to do, and we can always follow our customers. We have a lot of them. So we have to work smartly with some additional logistical solutions, but we have more influence on the suppliers. So we're trying to, from the very beginning, create a resilient supply chain strategy, but also that is one sustainable. And so next point, I already mentioned the green energy or the renewable energy. This is a very big transformation that we went. You can see here by the numbers, we went in a very short, from 2020 when we had no renewable energy, we are now by over 80% this year. We will be 100% by 2025. And what's also very important, we are reviewing how much of that is in grid purchase with guarantees of origin and what not to, but what else can we do locally? So we are also having a very big program on energy savings, but also implementing our own energy resourcing. So be it from solar to biogas with close by farmers and so on. So there are some interesting ideas also on recuperation of energy. So this is, again, a massive program with a lot of things. Impossible to mention all of the things. Maybe kind of like talking about our goals, what the one that we have. We are not yet by SBTI, but we are fully aligned, and we are hopefully soon going to announce. And besides of that, as I said, new concept like zero waste strategy. We are right now calculating when is our portfolio our product portfolio fully green. That is also a very important thing. Absolutely not as straightforward, but it's something that we're already putting ourselves as a target. So we have now the roadmap. We have understood how to tackle the complexity, and based on the CO2 calculations, we're able to prioritize, which is very important for us. So basically, with this roadmap, we plan to get to the next elevated level and produce more ambitious targets and results, not just goals. Thank you, everybody.